Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator, who has the environmental solutions the world needs, but no one will allow since November '93. And nowhere on this list of solutions do you see electric cars, and that's because they're really not a solution. There's no clean energy grid. The batteries are mineral dependent, and that's that's a whole ball of wax in itself. And that's what this video is about here. Elon is getting some headlines the last couple of days because he's looking to buy a mining company, not another automaker, but a mining company. So this is U.S. News, USA, no, U.S. News. So it says Elon Musk says Tesla open to buying a mining company. This is May 10th, 2022. And it says it's open if, open to buying a mining company if its own supply of electric vehicles metals would speed up worldwide adoption of clean energy technologies, said Elon. But clean energy, it's down here at the end because it's still out in the future. It's still hype, but it's still out in the future. And right now, we have refused to end global environmental illiteracy, get people living responsibly, end our disposable society. These are all solutions that can be implemented immediately. Hemp can be implemented immediately. Right now, doing good. It would have solved our problems had anyone allowed solutions since November of '93. But now we're, 28 years later, and what we're talking about is number 6 on the agenda is clean energy. And what they're talking about for clean energy really isn't clean energy. Okay? There is no clean energy grid in America. And even I did a video the other day, Norway, they pretty much have a clean energy grid. But now, well, people are buying electric vehicles, but no. Now it's, well, get out of your electric vehicle and get onto public transportation. See, the whole push is for you not to live your free life. And the environmental educator isn't about that. The environmental educator is about you living your life, but just doing it responsibly. But here's Elon. His concern is mounting across the EV, electric vehicle industry, that there may not be enough supply of lithium, nickel, copper, and other metals to match demand later this decade, fueling questions about whether Tesla would consider jumping into the mining sector. And Elon said, it's not out of the question. We will address whatever limitations are on accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy. It's not that we wish to buy mining companies, but if that's the only way to accelerate the transition, then we will do that. Oh, because being environmentally responsible is so important. But how about the transition to a non-disposable society? Nobody cares about speeding up. They don't even talk about that transition, yet it's needed. And we're never going to solve our problems until we do that. How about hemp? We could have hemp cars running on hemp. We don't need these electric cars. Okay? How about that transition? That's the transition we need. These electric vehicles are not a solution. Right here. So Tesla, it wants to produce 20 million vehicles annually by 2030, and right now it just produced 1 million electric vehicles last year. And so, well, Musk called the 20 million a year an aspiration and not a promise, but still, we don't need it, and it's, the other people in the industry have warned about facing the metal shortage. And it says, about Tesla operating a mine. Tesla has no experience with the time-intensive and laborious task of building and operating a mine. So the industry analysts have advised the automaker to focus on buying an existing operator. So yeah, Elon is looking to maybe get into the space of getting his own metals. Now, the thing about that is this is the Federalist right here. It says, right, oh, he may, buy a mining company to build his green electric cars. It's by 2050, one of the world's goals is to be emissions free. Well, you know what? I mean, in some respects, we need some emissions because we emit carbon dioxide, and that's what our trees breathe in. So you have to have the balance. You have to. The environmental educator just wants you to have the balance and to live responsibly. And everybody who has a voice just won't yap or listen to or address or get on the path of actually achieving that, which is so simple. It's the simplest thing to do. But it says one of the components of the future emission-free days is the staple of wonderful electric cars like Telsa's giving us, but Telsa's facing stern technical and economic realities, and as a result is considering going into the lithium mining business. So, yeah, because mines, that's the first thing you think of when you think environmentally responsible. That's what they're known for, But as the Federalist says, because behind the sweet hum of an emissions-free Tesla is a very dirty supply chain, and that's the truth. Right, nothing against open pit mining. You need it. No one wants to see it. Everybody wants to complain about it, but everybody wants everything that we, buy and use that's made from it. Like right here, it says it's ironic that the biggest advocates of environmental purity are moving to increase consumption of products dependent on lithium, including smartphone, other electronics, and of course, electric cars. So it's just this just silly. It says, but a Tesla is as dependent upon lithium as a 1978 11 mile per gallon Ford LTD was on gas. So it's not that we wish to buy mining companies, but if that's the only way to accelerate the transition, then we'll do that, says Musk. So I may have repeated that quote. I'm sorry, because again, how about the transition into what we actually really need? But no, right here, a Telsa needs 22 pounds of lithium, and to get 22 pounds of lithium, over 117 pounds of lithium ore have to be dug. Okay, and it says current lithium ore mining can't produce 90 to 95% of what will be needed. So, yeah, somebody, if we're going to be going down this clean energy, ridiculous electric vehicle route, which we're probably not, but somebody's going to have to be getting 90 to 95% more lithium. So, okay. So yeah, actually, Telsa has rights to over 10,000 acres of claims deposits in Nevada. And that's in another article that was done a couple of years ago, I think. But it says that lithium mining is dirty and efforts at environmentally friendly extraction of the commodity have not achieved economies of scale. The industry also suffers from up and down pricing because 81% of the mining is in Australia and Chile, and there are concerns about supply chain disruptions. So, yeah, we all know how that's been working lately. So, right here, this is Guillermo Gonzalez, a lithium battery expert from the University of Chile. In 2009, he told Wired, like any mining process, it is invasive, it scars the landscape, it destroys the water table, and it pollutes the earth and the local wells. This isn't a green solution. It's not a solution at all. which is exactly what I've been saying about electric cars. It's not a solution. This right here, the environmental education and agenda, is a solution. And everybody who's out there pretending like they care now or, has been screaming for solutions for decades upon decades, Al Gore, Bill McKibben, everybody, every single environmental voice has prevented this. And if we had done, ended global environmental illiteracy, ended our disposable society, gained individual cooperation, had leadership by example, and did hemp, this whole ridiculousness wouldn't even be being talked about. It would be a side note. It'd be like, oh, okay, good. Hey, when you get that electric vehicle and when you get that clean energy online, let us know when we're ready for a transition. But we're not. But you have to hear about it every day because it's hype, hype, hype. That's what propaganda is. They got to keep drilling it into you. Otherwise, it doesn't make enough sense for you to buy into it. So this is May 11th. This is Electrek, Trek, and it says that Musk said last month that Tesla might now get into the lithium mining business in response to rising costs. So yeah, rising costs and supply chain, and you need 90 to 95% more to be able to keep, increasing production. So, in 2020 is at Tulsa's Battery Day event. That is when Tulsa announced they were getting into the business, and that's when they bought those 10,000 acres in Nevada. But almost 2 years later, Tulsa has yet to do anything with that claim. But now, with lithium prices 400% higher since that original announcement, Tulsa seems to be making more moves into the space. So, we're not talking about buying mines just yet. Tulsa is more focused on securing long-term supply agreements with existing miners and potential new mines, but it sounds like outright buying a mining company to take its workforce and accelerate production is not out of the question. So, either way, whether Tulsa itself owns the mine or, it has agreements with existing miners, this lithium, this mining, these metals, these minerals have to be gotten. Otherwise, we can't have our clean green energy cars. And I did a video recently about in Butte, Montana. They're big into copper, and they have been forever. The Copper Kings out of Butte, they were very, very rich men. I'm sure they're in Wikipedia, and the whole area was very, very rich. But you know the mine, they're still mining now. I don't know exactly where, but they must be doing it more responsibly because the old time mine is a super fun cleanup site that's also a tourist attraction. You pay to go look at this pit that birds die if they land in it, like literally. So mining has never been known to be responsible. I myself, I don't, you know, go out and protest, speak against it because if you want to live your life, then you have to go out and get the materials and minerals that are needed to make the products you want. And you can't be opposed to that but want the product. I walk a straight line. But mining, even when they were mining copper back when that was becoming an EPA Superfund site. I mean, you need the copper. Okay, so you got to go out and you got to get this stuff, but you got to do it responsibly. And right now, these mines are not really known to be being responsibly, as this lithium battery expert said. This isn't a green solution, and he's a lithium battery expert. Okay, I'm just somebody who's not stupid, And I have the solutions the world needs, and nobody cares about the transition to ending our disposable society, getting into hemp. We could have hemp cars running on hemp, and we wouldn't have to care about the energy grid and all of this ridiculousness that everybody has to listen to every day. So, yeah, I just thought this was interesting. So stay tuned, people.